Welcome, welcome everyone to the Texan Club, and on behalf of the faculty and the staff and the Board of Regents and our students, I welcome you here today for this announcement. I want to speak just a little bit and introduce my good friend Joe Tubb, better known as Coach, better known as just Mr. Joe Tubb. Joe spent the last 45 years shaping and developing athletic programs. He's been honored nationally as the Athletic Director of the Year and recently led the National Junior College Athletic Association, serving as the president. But most notably to us, he has been the athletic director of South Plains College for the past 33 years. During his time here at SPC, we have enjoyed 42 national championships and numerous NJCAA All-American student athletes. He has hosted 14 national NJCAA events, along with hosting UIL athletic activities for school districts in the region for many years. He has brought thousands of guests to Levelland and Lubbock over the years. He and his crew of volunteers have the reputation of hosting the best events in the country. You know, he bribes his volunteers with his cooking. Joe, you are the best. Ladies and gentlemen, the best athletic director in the country, Joe Tubb.
Gee, I could just leave after that and I think it'd be all right. I've never read a speech in my life. I kind of do it out of my hip pocket, but I thought, you know, leaving a place is a lot harder than coming to a place. So I thought I better write some things down. And if I don't get through them, I'm handing it to Coach Roberts. He'll read it for me right here. You know, I went back a little bit when I started thinking about South Plains College. And as a kid, most of y'all don't know this, but this was a cotton field with a playa lake over here. I remember that, and I remember that in the 50s and late 50s and early 60s, I mowed lawns. Two notable people I mowed lawns for is Bill Powell and Frank Hunt, so I could make enough money to go to the Wallace Theater, you know, or something like that. I remember Nathan leaving Whiteface at about 57 or 58 to be the registrar over here. And I thought, you know, this must be a heck of a place. The guy's left the superintendent job to come here. And, of course, no one knew what would happen to South Plains College. You know, talked about mowing those lawns, making some money. Gano was not about to buy me any golf balls. So I had to rummage my own. And this guy right here, I remember, and he'd never forget. He tells this story on me all the time. Because I'd pick them up wherever I could find them. You know, I wasn't very old, you know. And one day he came up and he said, "Son, I think you've got my golf ball." So he made me empty my bag. I kept them in my bag. But sure enough, that was his golf ball. Little did I know what's going to happen later on, you know. I remember 64, 65, watching Dennis Patton and Coach Harden back there in the basketball team at South Plains College. I played a lot of golf with Dennis and his girlfriend, Linda Embick from Hobbs, and I'll come back to her in a little while. 66, I signed a scholarship to play golf here, and the next summer I found something a little more important. Kathy? So we left, got married, went to West Texas State, and finished out up there. And then fast forward to 1983, and I come back. And there's these same people that were here when I left. I thought kind of unusual, because you know how you are when you're a kid. You thought they were all pretty old when you left. And, of course, there's Coach Roberts is still, he's the golf coach here. And there's people like Frank Hunt, Earl Gerstenberger, High Walker, John Dixon. They're still here, and like I said, I thought, my gosh, they must be really old now. And then, of course, my cheerleading coach was Janelle Spears right there. And her son, I tried to run off, and ended up I couldn't. And thank goodness I couldn't, because, of course, the reason he's not here is he married my daughter. I have 2 great grandkids, and they'll be here about 30 minutes late. They run on Leslie time, and Britt has learned to. Okay. Britt's learned to accept that a whole lot better than I did. And that was great, because he's the daddy of my 2 grandkids that are about as good as it gets. And I'll introduce them, like I said, about 30 minutes. They'll be here in about 15 minutes. But main thing, I have to thank a lot of people. I work for some great presidents, and I got to thank Dr. Baker for hiring me. And I look back now and I think, my Lord, I was just 35. In fact, he wasn't going to hire me because I was that young. Earl reminded him that he became president here when he was 35. And I think Doc's ego got the best of him then. He said it'd be all right. But I coached around finished school and coached around for about 12 years. And I came here. I was actually going to find me a basketball job, because I was the best basketball coach in Texas. I knew. Just ask me if I didn't. But I got so spoiled being here and watching how hard these coaches work, and South Plains College was so good, I decided that, no, I'm done. I'm going to sit right here. And anyway, these people that I'm talking about, Dr. McDaniel and Dr. Sharp, for supporting our programs and letting, just like Dr. Baker, letting me run it the way I wanted to run it. And that's made it fun. It's been a great deal. Of course, I realize that there's some danger in that too, because you mess up, they're always up there. And but they've been so supportive. It's been unbelievable. And I think that Dr. Satterwhite, I appreciate him for helping this transition, make it easy for me, and I know that I trust that he's going to do a great job with the athletic program, and it's going to do nothing but better, and I appreciate that. I've worked with a lot of coaches, some great coaches, and I know better than to do this, but I'm going to name a few. Lyndon Harden, here. Ron Mayberry, James Morris, Larry Roberts, Lance Bingham, Chris Bean, Kerry Doster, Josh Crow, Caleb Petrie, and Steve Green. That's just a few, and for those I left out, I'm sorry. I'll leave out some other things for them through, I'm sure. But I've had some tremendous trainers too, and assistant coaches. When I wrote down the head coaches, I got to thinking, golly, David Adams, Buzz Chisholm, Bruce White, Billy Gillespie, Jerry Lloyd, Blaine Wiley, Frank Barker, Josh Newman, Hank Plona, Roger Redding. Roger's around here somewhere. Charles Harrell, Brett Tanner, Mike Mayberry. I could go on and on. And most of these people have gone on and had tremendous careers on their own, thanks to the head coaches they worked under and thanks to the type of people they were to be here. Second, to the men and women who served on the Board of Regents, including Dennis Patton and the young lady I mentioned earlier that became Mrs. Dennis Patton, Linda Patton, Uncle Nathan Tubb, among many others. I saw Mike Boxing. I saw several of them here today. Boy, they've been great. They have been easy to work with. I think our president's going to say that. This board is tremendous right now, and I know that they have spent many hours working to make this the best college in the nation, and they've been successful at it. Next is the faculty and staff. Unbelievable how they are to work with for our student athletes. You can ask any of our coaches how they work with our student athletes. But, you know, I hate to say just student athletes. There's got about 10,000 kids here, so they do the same thing with everyone. That's what makes them great. And they work really hard for the success. And that's from secretaries to all kinds of staff and to the instructors. And it's unbelievable how you know, I was here as a student, and if it wasn't for Robert Pierce, I'd have never got my math degree. I drove back and forth from Amarillo about twice a week, and I know it probably before the semester was over, he was irritated, but I was making an A, you know. And so I wasn't irritated. But that just, it had never changed. That's what it still is here. And what? I'm not through yet. Of course, the last 19 years, see, I didn't have her type that in. I had to think. Linda McCullough. Where's Linda? Come in here, Linda. You know, there's a lot of things that Linda may do right or may do wrong, but there's one thing for sure. You better not give me any hell when you come in that office. Or on the telephone. She's about as loyal as anybody I've ever been around, and thank you. Last but not least, I want to thank the community of Levelland. Unbelievable. And you know, where's the Visit Lubbock people? Where's Lubbock? You know, y'all have been just like the Texan Club and the people here in town. And anything that we needed to do in the Texan Club, y'all have always been there. The people of Levelland have always been there. They just amaze me. They're there with their checkbook, and they're there with their cookers, and or whatever else that I've dreamed up over 30 years to try to either make some money or get some people in the dome. They're always there. They're always positive. Bill Smith has cooked more brisket than he told me last year. He said, "God darn it, I wish you'd quit. I'm getting tired." Told him it's getting close. It's getting close. You know, they've always been there with everything we've done, and they've been there with their friendship and their hands wide open to do whatever we need done. And you know, the old adage, you can never go home again. Well, Levelland destroyed that. I came home and I've loved every minute of it. Huh? Oh, wait a minute. Now, I'm sorry I said that. It's just 20 minutes after. This is my daughter Leslie. This is the one I was bad-mouthing. Not really, not really. We're the kids. Get in here. Bryce Waters, cousin. Get in here, Bryce. This is Kayla. This is Kay. Kaylee, I'm sorry. That's what I call Pete. You know. My son Chad couldn't be here today, but this is the rest of them. And Levelland's been a great place to raise a family. And there's Daddy back there. See, don't they look just like me? Thank you all so much.